There have only been 2 birdies all day. Norman going for the 3rd.
That's very uncharacteristic of him. If I was going to call that, it was live, I'd say he will get this to the hole. And so disappointed he is about, and he was about that putt.
Just not getting it there, I think, upset him more than anything else.
Yeah, yeah. He really had to give it a go because with 4 players at 13 under, and I'm sure they're not all going to trip and fall, so 12 is at least, I would say, 1 short.
Well, there have only been 2 birdies here at 18 all day long by Ballesteros and Fuzzy Zeller. Norman finishes at -12.
And he'll go home and buy himself a new pair of pants.
And I thought maybe a new putter.
No, he won't get rid of that. He will not get rid of that.
Back over to 17.
Where Marco Mira is looking over his tee shot with a 9-iron. 135 yards to the flagstick. The wind negligible. Flag quite still. Very safely on the green, but he has a very difficult putt from there. Earlier, Ben Crenshaw with the 9-iron also, trying to salvage something from a wretched day, and he takes the bold route, brings it in from the right, and that is an excellent stroke he's played there. And lastly, Scott Simpson. Also with a 9-iron.
Oh, that's perfect.
Get out of hole, baby. Get out of hole.
Oh, what a brilliant stroke that is, too. Well, there's no shortage of bravery around here. That one was a very bold line he took there. Admirable shot. And now to the 18th.
Sandy Lyle. He hit a 1-iron off the tee.
210 yards from the hole. And as strong as he is,
Yes, Sluman.
look at this. Just almost identical where Greg Norman was.
Just about the same length.
Boy, Greg Norman finishes at 12 under par. If you asked me Thursday morning, would you take 12 under par? I wouldn't even. I would say yes so fast and figure it was a shoe-in.
Well, tournament record on this golf course is 14 under by Calvin Peete under just ideal weather conditions. This time, the rain has certainly been a factor. It continues to pelt down.
Sluman, 185. Try to bring it right to left. I think he likes it.
I think he should.
I think he will.
What a shot.
I tell you one thing, he's showing some courage today. When they say he's 5'7", I think they measured him when he was standing on a cart path with his spikes on.
As I said, I talked to him this morning out in the parking lot. And I don't believe he's 5'7", 135. From Rochester, New York, he went to Florida State. Here's another Florida State graduate, Paul Azinger.
Yeah, but you make a lot of people look short. Azinger at 11. Well, he's missed some fairly makeable putts, and being one of the best putters, he's got to be disappointed about that. He's watching it too. It's got to be right a little bit of the hole. Yeah, sure. How about 20 feet?
Just a little bit. We'll be back with more golf action from the Tournament Players Club after this word from your local station.
Awfully difficult putt for Marco Mira. It's a sort of slingshot off the ridge. Goes way left on him. See how he has to aim it well right at the hole. That in the circumstances, not all bad. Very dangerous putt. Scott Simpson, who played that very, very courageous tee shot right over the flagstick, has a chance to equal Azinger's feat of birdieing the 17th hole 4 straight days. That's how it has played, and there have been so far 23 birdies between 69 players. So exactly 1/3 of the field today has birdied the dreaded 17th, which is anything but this year. And this is also to break the tie at the top of the list, and there is the enormous purse of $1 million, $180,000 to the winner. But it's that 10-year exemption that means so much. Now, Scott Simpson for the outright lead. Blame him for dropping to his knees. That seemed to have caught the left-hand edge of the cup, but not hard enough. So really a playoff looking quite a possibility at the moment. Simpson for his par. And now to the 18th.
And just a moment ago, Sandy Lyle for the outright lead.
And nothing to spare. Look at that. 1 iron off the tee, 210 yards, second shot to within 40 feet, and holds the putt to go 14 under par, and now he's all alone. And now just has to sit and wait with 3 players to come behind him.
Live Paul Azinger. Get there.
Azinger will finish 11 under, and 1 player behind Sandy Lyle is on the 18th green, about 12 feet away.
That would be, of course, Jeff Sluman. Let's quickly go down to Steve Melnick.
All right, Pat, thank you. Frustrating day, wasn't it?
It's just one of those days, you know, I even busted my pants trying to play good golf. God, it was one of those embarrassing days. But I tried my best. I didn't make the putts that I had to make. But overall, my ball striking was good, so I was getting ready for 2 weeks.
Sandy Lyle surprised you?
Sleepy Sandy, I call him. You know, he comes along, he plays good sometimes, and sort of sometimes he goes to sleep. But, you know, he's won the British Open. He's won many great tournaments, so he's got the ability to win.
All right, let's watch Jeff Sluman now, Pat.
All right, Steve.
It'll move a little bit from left to right, and this, not to win, to tie. To tie, to tie.
And we got 2 at 14.
Gutsy play.
Oh, really good. Look at this. Watch this. That's what golf's all about.
Sluman.
I don't know what these guys are taking, but I want some of it, let me tell you, Steve. That's unbelievable. That's so impressive. People got no idea on television how tough the 18th hole here is at TPC, and to both of them birdie it to get into a playoff is just phenomenal. I think that's what that PGA Tour is all about, excitement, I guess.
Tell me about the play at 16. Now, you drove it left, you're standing on the cart path, and what happened on the second?
Well, I had the option of dropping it off the car path, but if I dropped it now, I've got to hook it over the water. And I didn't really like that play under the circumstances. And there were a lot of roots around there. If I dropped the ball, it could have rolled down there. So I had a pretty straightforward shot. I had to turn it just a little bit. And
how far were you?
240 to the flag. So I just pulled out a 1 iron and said, oh, what the heck, you know, it's either make it or break it. Yeah, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And unfortunately, I didn't make my birdie after that.
Greg, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, all right, thank you.
All right, Pat.
The last group of the day back on the tee. O'Mara, Simpson, and Crenshaw. This is Crenshaw. By now, the news must have filtered back to the last trio. And Simpson and O'Mara know what's in head.
When you play long enough out here, Pat, you can tell what the yell is for par, the yell is for birdies, the applause, what it is, spontaneous. They know that there's one, at least two, maybe two at 14 under. O'Mara now, right to left player, perfect setup for him. Left side of the tee, he will try to bring it right to left, left center of the fairway. That looked like he might have left that to the right.
I thought so too.
Yes, very much so. But you can still see the ball. Looks pretty good.
Might be sitting up rather well, as a matter of fact. Here's Scott Simpson now. That methodical routine. Why is it so hard to repeat your practice swing?
Because there's a golf ball there.
That is a factor.
You bet. But watch this. This almost, you could take the ball away and he will make a practice swing right here. I tell you what, that's a good lesson for anybody. Watch this. Under any pressure, that is talent right there to do that.
That's perfect.
You're talking about they had 2 birdies all day until the second to last group, and now 2 players in the second last group make birdies.
Lyle and Sluman both birdie 18, and they are tied for the lead at the moment at 14 under. Sandy Lyle and Jeff Sluman both birdied the 18th hole to go 14 under, and we'll go right now down to Steve Melnick.
All right, Pat, thank you. Sandy Lyle, round of 70. Jeff Sluman, around of 69. But more importantly, and I should say more impressively, was the play at 18. Sandy?
Well, I did a very poor 1-iron to the right, and basically I'm going to just play for a 4. And I got a fairly good lie down there, and had a 5-iron into hard of the green. I managed to make the putt from about 20 feet.
Jeff, I talked to you at 17, and you admitted the fact that you were a little nervous, but your play on 18 doesn't give us any indication of that at all.
Well, I played 18 so poorly yesterday, Steve, that my teacher called me up this morning, and I told him that no matter what position I was in, I was going to try and hit a hard draw down there and just make 3.
We're watching your putt at home on national television. Tell us about it.
Well, I was fortunate in the fact that I had that basically same putt on Friday's round, so I knew what I was going to do, and I felt pretty comfortable over it, and fortunately it went in.
The golf course played so differently today than it has in the past 3 days. I know it played a lot longer, and Sandy, you're long, but did you take advantage of the conditions?
Well, I didn't make many birdies in the par 5s. That was the one thing that disappointed me, not making one at 16th and things. But, you know, the greens are a little softer, the ball isn't running quite as much, so it takes a little, you know, longer to play.
Well, the playoff hole 16, gentlemen, we'll probably see you there. All right, Pat.
Mark O'Mara, second. Get up.
Jump up. I tell you, we were listening to Sandy Lyle talk about his 20-footer. I would like to buy real estate from him.
Because it was more than 20.
If it was less than 35, I would be amazed.
Here is Scott Simpson now.
Now he will draw upon everything he has practiced into his swing, make the same move, and he knows there's only one score if I plan to go to 16.
That's a 5-iron. Didn't like it.
A little to the right and way right. Right of the green, and up and down in 2 from there would be a very good achievement.
There are 2 tied for the lead. Lyle and Sluman, Simpson and O'Mara still have a chance to join the group that would go back to 16 to start a playoff.